Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Sisense Tech Talk. This is the fourth one in this series. In today's session, we are going to learn about data model migration process. But before we start, I would like to give you all a quick introduction about me. My name is Kritika Lingarkar, and I am a technical account manager from past 2.5 years. I work with our enterprise elite customers to ensure that they get the best value possible out of their relationship with us. Let us quickly move on to our today's topic. Our agenda is to understand the process of migration and demo. Now, you all must be thinking, why data model migration? For example, you want to use the existing model as a base for another Elastic Cube, or you want to load it into a different Sisense server. The model can either be exported as .s model file or .s data file. .s model file contains the design of your model schema and its connection settings to its source. .s data file contains the design, the connection, and the data itself. Now let's understand the backward compatibility of the files. Exporting from lower version and importing it on a higher version works as expected. But exporting from a higher version of Sisense and importing it into a lower version of Sisense is not recommended. You can export .s model along with the hierarchies, data security, perspectives, formulas set on your model. With .s data file, we do not have all the other export options. There are two ways to this process. One is via UI and another is using API. Some important information before we look at the demo. If we plan to import a .s model file, then we have to rebuild the model before we actually start using it. If we import the S data file, we can use it immediately as the data is already present in the file. When exporting a .s data file, we need to keep in mind the disk space we have on the server, as the S data file also contains the data. Let us move on to a quick demo. Consider this as my dev environment, and I have some test Elastic Cube, live model, one Excel cube, and a test API model here. Let us try to export an Elastic Cube from this model. Just go to the data page, select the Elastic Cube you want to export, click on the three dots, and you will get an export option here. If you're doing the model only, you can select the options here. If you're using the model and data, you don't have all the other options. Let's select model only and export. Now we have a S model file exported. This is my production environment where I want to import the model I exported recently from my dev environment. Go to the data page, click on import model, browse for the model file. While importing, just keep in mind, in case you have a model existing on this environment with the same name, please rename the model, or you can choose to override the model. And that's it. The model is imported on your production environment. After you import your model on a production environment, check the connection settings from the data source. You can click on change connection, and either you can choose to change the connection from your production server to your production data source, or you can still keep the connection as it is. If you're keeping the connection, please make sure that you have access to your database server from this new Sisense server. In order to use the S model file, you need to build it first. Now you have Elastic Cube ready to use on this environment for your dashboards. Let us try a live model example. You can select the live model, click on three dots, export. Along with the live model, you can only choose .s model or the model only option. Let's go back to our production environment. Let's import the S model file. Again, while importing, if you already have a model, rename it or overwrite it. You can always select this button icon, data source, and change your connection setting from change connection option. Publish your live model, and now you can use it on your production environment. Let's try one more example with XLSX or CSV files. If you have a cube on your existing environment which connects to an XLSX or a CSV file, export the model and make sure you also have a data file while importing the model on your production environment. In this case, we need to set the connection again. That's it. You can build the model and you're all set to use it for your dashboards. Now, for example, you want to use our Sisense APIs, then you can use our APIs present here. Data model import exports. You can use the get data model export schema API to export the model from one environment. In this case, you can only provide the data model ID here. Let us understand how to collect the data model ID. You can go to the data page, select the cube or the model for which you want to get the ID. It is the ID you can use in your REST API. It is the data model ID which you want to export. If you want to export along with the dependencies, you can choose the dependencies here. Let's execute this. Here is the response JSON from the export API. On your production server, you can always use the import API to import the JSON file. Here is the post data model import schema API, which you can use to import a model. Please copy the JSON from your machine and paste the JSON in the import API body. After you import the model, it'll be in a draft status. You have to go back and build the model so that you can use it for your dashboard design. Let us have a quick recap of what we just learned. So in order to export and import, we will first go to the data page. The model you want to migrate, click on the three dots, select export. Select whether to export the model only or the model schema and the data file. Click export and you're prompted to download a file. In order to import the model, go back to the data page, select import model option, browse for the file and import the model. If a model with the same name already exists, either rename the model or override the existing model with the one you are importing. In order to perform export import via APIs, here are our APIs options. And thank you. Your feedback matters to us, so please take our survey. Please visit Sisense Academy for all our Tech Talks recording and presentation. Thank you.